dismay behind with Quinch in tow. And we headed to our camp, and now we know Quinch is a man, not of this world. He's a man who is now changed by the truth told by the elf girl. Harshnag now shows us something strange. Llama, 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 llama pie that he's drawn upon the ground, upon the ground. When he realizes it won't last forever, he is forlorn. But he rebounds, but he rebounds. We'll rest a while and all take turns to keep a watchful eye. The eye see not, but ears detect a creature in the sky. Is this the other man before? There's no way we can know for sure. The adventure continues. Please do take a seat. I did. As I say, I appreciate today is a very tough day for you. Please do take a seat. And you realise that he's no longer speaking to you. He's speaking to where you just come from. He's speaking to somebody in the aisle.
Who is it?
Do you turn around?
Yeah.
You turn around and you have just the splittest of seconds to see a man stood there before you blink and you're back in camp.
Oh. What did I see?
Okay. Day 2 of travel.
No, you dickhead.
You wake up early. Dweezil, are you shaken? Are you going to do anything with that information? Are you going to stew on it, tell the rest of the group? Is it anything you're going to...
I'm going to tell them lot, no. Dweezil thinks he's losing. I mean, he's been thinking he's losing it a bit for a while. Don't think they'll think it's a dream. It's some kind of vision. No, I think I'll keep this to myself.
Okay,
but then I might drop a couple of things into conversation. But just
Okay. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you guys to, although I've got some itinerary for the day, so to speak. If at any point, you want to do anything like that, then feel free. Or perhaps at night time when we get to that point, whatever.
Well, Matt, do you know what? Though I think I'd probably say something to Greg, because Greg is another man who
is mental.
Well, can read. Crucially, can read. So I think I'd probably just say to Greg, I'd say, have you ever come across a religious symbol of a weeping eye?
Can I do a history check on that?
Or a religion?
Yeah. Let's do a religious check then.
You can do history at disadvantage or religion at straight.
Well, religion I've got a pretty good roll on, so I'm probably going to stick with that. I've got 15 plus whatever my religion is, which is plus 2, so 17.
Okay. You don't know much about it, but you do know that this is the holy symbol of an elven god by the name of Vandria. Vandria. Often known as the Lady of Lady of Grief.
You sounded choked up saying that, so that's appropriate.
Okay, so I'm going to turn around and go, well, I believe that there is Vandria's symbol. She's the goddess of grief, I believe. Is there someone in your life you're grieving for? Or perhaps not so much as a person, but perhaps a time or some kind of experience that may have triggered you in some way?
No, I mean, I've not been myself recently, and I do kind of feel like I look back to the time before the fight against the fiery demon and Davos' demise, and think it was somewhat simpler back then. But I'm not. No, it was just something that I was thinking about, and I couldn't quite remember where. I couldn't quite place it, Greg Mel. It's nothing to worry about.
Well, if you ever do need some further insight into your psyche, or even perhaps to turn to someone, I'm always here. And
Yeah, I appreciate that, Greg.
I mean, we can always sit around and have a nice coffee and have a little chit chat. Being with this party, I've learned that there's a lot to be said about other people in your life.
Well said. Lovely. Anything to that, Dweezil?
No, I think those last words that Greg Mel said resonate with Dweezil, but perhaps not in a comforting way, because Dweezil's always felt that way. Dweezil's always enjoyed the company of others, but recently has started to feel more insular. And actually, Greg Mel saying that makes Dweezil think a little bit more, what's wrong with me? That's how I used to feel, so what's wrong with me? So Greg's kind words, offered in kindness, have made Dweezil reflect on things and perhaps drive him deeper into despair. Nice one, Greg Mel. Well done.
That's what he does. He's not
Thanks
the
for being
miserable old
nice.
man in the party anymore.
Thanks for being nice. You've ruined it. Okay. Aside from that, you get up. Anything else you guys want to be doing today? I appreciate Quinch, for example.
I'd like to have a fiddle on my cube of many colours.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead.
So we'll go for a 5, 6.
You do have advantage still.
Oh, I do apologise. In that case, it's 17.
17. Okie dokie. Yeah, these are coming along nicely.
Do you remember when Krill started a sewing project and then just forgot about it?
No, I've been trying to do
He's been
it
doing
fairly regularly.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're about halfway through, if I remember correctly. It has been sort of more sporadic than the cube, but certainly it's coming along nicely.
Do you also remember when you had a bear that it used to go around with him everywhere?
He's still here. I actually
so am I.
I mentioned Mosey last session because with alternate version Krill doesn't have a Mosey, so
Doesn't.
he can get fucked.
He also doesn't have his father's approval.
Yeah, so we do have some things in common.
He didn't have a tattoo either.
I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, I'm not gonna do my knitting on the road because I'm still melancholy. And you need to be in a good mood to sew. I don't know, maybe. Fuck knows.
Those sweatshops are famously happy places, yeah.
Shout out to all our depressed knitters out there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
What I will be doing though is, as we are travelling, I'm noticeably practicing with my hand axes. Obviously, I lost the great axe last session, so I'm sort of just practicing like a bit of dual wielding hand axe sort of combat. Sort of when we're stopping, practicing my throwing at trees, and so for a while I'll be main handing, two handing hand axes.
Main handing, two handing, hand axes. There's a lot of hands going on there. Did you just leave the other axe just where it was as well? You didn't bring that with you at all? You
I
dropped
just dropped it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, aside from that, you're up and about, travelling. About 4 hours into your journey, up ahead you see what appears to be a small wisp of smoke coming from ahead, just a little to the south of you. Not by any means, way off, but sort of just not quite directly in your path. You think that even without changing any course, you'll likely come across it or nearby it in probably about 30 to 60 minutes. Do you wish to investigate further, or do you wish to just ride on by?
We'll have a nosy at it, surely.
Well, does it look like menacing smoke, or does it just look like someone's having a campfire?
Menacing.
It looks like a camp. You'd probably think that it's close to being more like a campfire that's been put out recently-ish.
I'd say I'm not sure we'd want to unless we specifically want to go somewhere that's got an active campfire and may come into people. You know, we've got a clear directive on what we need to do. I don't think we need to be.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with that. Like, we don't. This is probably some other adventurers camping out, surely.
I would say as we get closer, we potentially want to just, I don't know, pay attention to if there's any noises, but not get right up in it to,
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Okay.
yeah, 30, 60 minutes away, you're not going to hear any conversation, but we can intend to go past it with an open ear.
If
Okay.
we're going near it, maybe Harshnag could have a little
Yeah.
cast his gaze over.
Okay, yeah, all right.
We've also got
So
an
you
owl.
start, you start traveling up that way, and you get very very close to it. Now, again, you've obviously suggested you don't necessarily are too fussed by it. Do you want to send Vin? Do you want to see what Harshnag can see from his? I mean, he's by no means like super sight or anything like that, but he can just certainly see a bit further than you guys.
Could I ask Harshnag to see what he can see? And if he
Okay.
can't see much, I'll send Vin.
Okay. So he casts his gaze over in that direction, and you see him looking, and then he sort of takes a couple of steps forward and sort of squints his eyes and looks. This seems to be a battle. There seems to be bodies over there. Some of them quite big. Some of them probably giant.
Any of them moving? Like any still alive?
From my distance, from my sight, I cannot see anyone. They are all laying down. There is no one walking around.
We could perhaps get another head that we need for our collection.
I don't think we've spoken to Harshnag about our collection.
I'm pretty sure we took a head of one of the giants that he killed, didn't we?
We did, but I don't know if we openly said it's for our collection of giant heads.
He's fine. He kills other giants as well, so he gets it.
Harshnag
gets
he's
it.
on a level.
Yeah. Do you want to head over, or do you want to carry on? It's entirely up to you.
I say carry on. I'm not sure what would benefit from it.
Well, do you know, we're investigating the fall of the Ordning. There's a battle which seems to feature giants. Do you not think it's worth showing a little bit of curiosity?
Well, yeah, obviously when you put it like that, obviously it sounds pretty sensible to go over there, yeah.
Quinch starts running towards it.
Upon seeing the remnants of a battle, Dweezil is reminded of the fact that the last time we had a battle, you took 14 of my maximum hit points off me. And he's just wondering about when I'm getting my hit points back, if I'm getting my hit points back.
That's a very good point, and thank you for reminding me, because I had certainly forgotten about that. Yeah, all of you that took any temporary hit points following your long rests, you have them all back.
Bloody hell, that's a good job.
All right, I'll just re-add my 1 AC.
That's why he's so melancholy. He's got that 1 AC down. He got that 1 AC drop.
You're not giving him his AC back, though, are you?
Oh, no, not his AC. Sorry.
No,
his
just the hit points.
Hit points, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gone, I'm afraid, mate. Unless you get that armor fixed or replaced, you've lost that 1 AC. Right. So you're heading over? Are you all heading over?
Yeah, we'll take a walk over, but, cautiously, in case there's people from the battle still around.
Okay, as you're taking a slow walk over, if you can all roll me a perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Is it all?
Yeah, or those
20.
that wish to.
23 again.
That'd be a natural
13.
one for me.
Ooh.
21. Fairly perceptive for Krill.
Okay, well, a couple of you certainly notice a lot quicker than the others. Yeah, you see that this is indeed a sign of a battle. There's a small campfire which was probably put out last night during it, or ran out during it. And there appears to be, as you get closer, you can start seeing these larger bodies. But there's also littered around those is a number of smaller bodies, ones that are much closer in size to your good selves. And do you wish to get right up in there?
All up in that business.
You're probably about 50 foot away at this point.
Can I ask, sorry,
Deep in the business.
Harshnag, do you recognise any of these giants? Like, what clan are they from, or do you know any of them personally?
He sort of, well, I can see that they are frost giants. I can see that from here. And he just sort of stops there, but carries on walking towards them in particular, but towards the closest of them. And as he gets to the closest of these three frost giants, he kneels down and he starts looking them over, and you can see him sort of he grabs one of their heads and he's sort of like moving it around, seeing if he recognizes the face or anything like that, and sort of just looks over their armor and whatnot. And he sort of looks back at you, Greg, and says, I do not recognize them, but I recognize the armor. These are men sent by Storvald. They do not normally come this far south, but it is not uncommon. It is not impossible, I should say.
Are we assuming that it's the humans camp that was attacked by, not the humans, but the
well,
I mean, does the camp look?
Do you
like,
want to?
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you want to come and have a look at you guys are still like 50 foot away. If you want to come,
let's go have a closer look.
Harshnag looks around. He sort of waves you over to say, "These are all very, very dead. You are, I think, safe here."
Yeah. So I want to have a closer look, sort of work out whose the camp was, and if there was a reason for this attack.
You see, once you get closer, and maybe you start totting them up, and you see 14 humans. All of them are dressed in quite light armor, or leather armor, natural armor, but all of them are garbed in feathers and bird paraphernalia. Like there's a couple there that have like talons on pendants or large beaks. If you could all roll me a history, all I'm looking for is a DC 12. See if any of you remember this.
5.
I got 8.
That's an 18.
18. What was yours, Luke?
Just trying to find it. 15.
15. Okay, Greg and Dabov remember. Actually, would Dabov, or was that after he died? I can't remember. I think it was before he died. But either way, I think you guys would remember that there was you found a similar set of bodies off in the east. Those, however, were they had like elk stuff. They had like antlers and that sort of thing. These look very similar, just with different type of animal. And that's all I'll say.
I mean, I'm gonna search the bodies.
Okay. You search the bodies, and I won't make you roll for it. You find nothing of major interest. There's a few sort of axes and things like that. Nothing compared to what you had before. I mean, you feel free to if you want another axe, then you're more than welcome to take it.
Are there any hand axes? I'm planning on throwing a lot, so I might stock up.
You find 3 hand axes.
Lovely job.
Amongst the 14, you also find 23 arrows, which I suspect one of your colleagues maybe used. Just
hold them up in the air for anyone to claim.
Yeah, Quinch will grab some.
Okay. As you're looking over the bodies, though, Harshnag sort of has finished sort of investigating the other three giants. It's very clear that these two parties have fought each other. This wasn't a collective that's been attacked. And he stands up, and while you're still doing it, he looks over to you, Krill, and says, "These are Uthgard. These are Uthgard barbarians. They are mean-spirited and very good fighters. We should be wary. If they are here, then we are on their lands. They do not get on well with many people, but they particularly dislike giants. And Krill, they do not like orcs."
That's fine. I'm only half orc, so.
And then he turns and says, "But Greg, they especially despise magic users. If they saw you using a spell, they would tear you limb from limb."
No, they can try.
Do the Uthgard barbarians come from the Lurkwood?
Do they come from the Lurkwood? Wow,
that's a Stuart question. I'm sure when I was researching the area around the Lurkwood, you may remember I ran a game for you, which was based in Mirabar.
Yeah.
And I that game started in the Lurkwood, and I'm sure I came across the Uthgard barbarians when I was researching the lore of this part of Faerun, because I am what some people would describe as a nerd.
There might be. So, why don't you ask Harshnag?
Harshnag?
Yes.
You mentioned that these are Uthgard barbarians. We're close to the Lurkwood, aren't we? Did the Uthgard barbarians come from the Lurkwood?
He looks up and he sort of points to the north and says, yes, that is the Lurkwood that way. The Uthgard are all over. There are many tribes of the Uthgard. These ones, I do not know their particular comings and goings. I do not know their lore. But these ones appear to worship some sort of bird. They follow that tradition. I believe there are other barbarians who follow different creatures, but again, I do not know their lore. They are spaced out across all of the north. These, I would think, possibly from the hills, but I do not know.
Interesting.
As I say, they are. I do not hate the barbarians, but I try to stay clear of them because they are vicious killers, and they would
dickheads as well, aren't they?
Just uncultured swines with no taste of the magic. That's the only thing. Okay, now.
You said that these are I'm looking around here. We've got 14 humans who have been in a pitched battle with frost giants and have been killed. Do we need to be worried?
Of the frost giants or the barbarians? Because honestly, Dweezil, the answer is yes to both.
Probably not worth clarifying which I meant then, is it?
I wish to separate the two as both worthy opponents. I have seen you in battle. I have seen that you are all good at fighting. You are all mighty warriors in your own way. These are all very dangerous people. For there to be frost giants this far south suggests that Storvald is doing something. It has been many years since I last communicated or talked to him. I do not know what it is he is doing. But for them to be down here, it is a worry. As for the barbarians, as I say, they are everywhere. We may come across them when we least expect it. We should be aware that they could attack at any moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels a bit more dangerous than it did 10 minutes ago, lads.
Perhaps we should make haste away from this battlefield.
Yeah.
I think that is a very good idea, Greg. If you have rooted the bodies,
did we root through the giants?
I have found amongst the giants nothing. Because I forgot to prepare that. No, there was nothing amongst them.
Have we got an ice giant head already? Or frost giant head, sorry.
I don't believe we have.
The first Harshnag is the first frost giant you encountered, I believe. And he still has his head.
Yeah, so Harshnag, I think it would take me quite a while to get through with these.
And holds up his two significantly smaller hand axes.
Would you mind just...
And then he sort of indicates to, and then points at one of the giants.
It's for a little project we have going on.
Project.
Would you like some papier-mâché?
Is it not a project? Is it not?
Arts and crafts.
He says that this is unusual, but I will, on this occasion, do this for you. I have an axe to grind, so to speak, with the rest of the frost giants. And he brings his axe down and cleaves in one swing the head from the shoulders.
Krill retrieves the head, walks towards Dweezil.
Dweezil, can you open your sack for me, please?
Yeah, go on, shove it in the...
Yeah,
hold him.
Thank you.
Whoop, in it goes.
Okay. You set off from this camp. You get back on track. Start heading west again. And again, another few fairly uneventful hours pass before you eventually get to nighttime and you set up camp. Can I get a perception from you all, please?
Yeah, boy. 19.
Ooh, 9.
11.
14.
Wow, Dweezil is the perception boy. You, again, most of you don't hear anything particularly out of the ordinary. Dweezil, however, you don't hear the wings again this time, but what you do hear is what appears to be an unfamiliar noise of a large cat growling in the night. It sounds close, but not by any means approaching you. But it sounds closer than you'd particularly like, and I would assume that you'd just be a bit more on alert, I guess.
Yeah, a bit more perceptive, even more perceptive.
Yeah, you get 20 with the rest of the evening. Yeah, but thankfully, no further visits to any weird buildings, and you get through your watch and wake up the next person, and you will get through your night. You wake up next day. Next day is, fair to say, a fairly dull day. Absolutely nothing happens. It starts raining at one point, which makes it a little bit of a slog getting the travel, but it doesn't slow you down completely by any means. Just makes it a little bit more a bit more difficult and unimpressive. Quint, did you want to do another roll for me?
Yeah, we'll have another roll. Let's go. Oh, nutty teas. So
natural 20.
Yeah, 21 in totes.
Okay. Lovely stuff. That has moved you up very, very far up the chain. Okay. But still, you can tell that you're probably only a couple of moves away, maybe, or something around that. You're very close to getting this finished.
Do I see him doing it when he's not like doing this in secret, is he?
No,
I assume not.
No, I'm not doing it slyly.
I know you enjoy your Cube of Many Colours business, but do you not think like maybe give it Dabov? Because like sometimes I see you making really good progress with it, and then you like sausage finger it like like one step forward and three steps back. I'm not saying you're not. It's unfair, isn't it? That I apologise, but
it's quite all right. I know what you're getting at. No, I just feel like I've put too much effort into it now. I can't give it away.
Yeah, it would be wrong of me to take over now.
Imagine,
yeah. But really funny, really funny.
Yeah.
It's like when you give someone else a jar that you've loosened.
But unfortunately, it's got your feces and piss inside.
Yeah, 50% of the time you've actually tightened it.
At some point, though, during the day, aside from that, Harshnag decides to sit down with Dabov. And he says, Dabov, I hope you do not mind me asking this, but I heard from the group that... I heard you died. I'm not a tactful man. I heard you died. I have been alive for around 800 years. It is a long life. The concept of death to me, whilst I get close to it on many occasions with my battles, I have yet to feel what that is like. And tell me, how was it? How are you here? What happened to you?
I wish I knew myself. It wasn't the most pleasant of experiences, not going to lie, as dying, as you'd imagine it to be. It was sort of traumatic, but also kind of calm as well towards the end. It was unlike anything I've experienced before, but also kind of as I'd imagined it to be. It's very indescribable.
And what was on the other side?
A lot of nothing. A lot of sort of empty spaces, very quiet, very boring. Some would say peaceful, but I'm not one for peace and quiet. I much prefer a busy adventurous lifestyle. But I got used to it. I was there a while. I couldn't tell you how long. Days seemed longer than normal, but that doesn't mean that they were. It might just be the boredom. But and to be honest, I lost count. There was no point counting as every day was the same. So yeah, it was just very, very nothing.
But I have heard of people who die and see the white light and they come back moments later. You say you were away for days. How are you here?
I wish I knew. That's a question I've asked myself an awful lot over the last however many days it's been since I've been back. Yeah, I wish I knew. I feel an obligation to someone that I don't know who they are. They obviously brought me back for a reason. I don't know the reason either. That obviously weighs heavily on me as to why I've been brought back. I feel like I've been brought back for a purpose that I have no idea what that is, which is, yeah, quite frankly, going from being used to being dead. You know, I went through the stages all the way up to acceptance, and I kind of accepted my own fate, and then to be brought back with a unknown purpose is a very heavy weight indeed. Yeah, not sure I'm happy to be back, truth be told.
If I died, I hope I die a hero's death, and I do not wish to come back. I did not know you before you died, but if you were anything like the man who stands before me, and he claps his hand on your shoulder, and it's basically the size of your entire torso, like he's basically holding it. He was a great man. You are a great man. I am enjoying traveling with you and your party.
That's reassuring to hear. I hope I can live up to this task or this reason that I've been brought back. But until I know what it is and who brought me back and why, I feel like I'm chasing ghosts, as it were.
Yes. Speaking of chasing ghosts, we must off. And he ends the conversation there.
Thank you so much for listening to Dice and Desire. If you were...
Hello.
Quinch, what are you doing here?
I thought I'd help out with the promo.
No, Quint, no, come on. You're just going to talk about random place names that don't exist.
No, I wasn't. I was going to talk to you about my adventures in Valaquanth, the very best that the Tendering Meadows has to offer.
God, if you have to be here, at least read this out.
Okay, what have we got here? Leave us a review on Apple or Podchaser.
Oh, yeah, it was fine. It's pronounced Apple, but that was fine. Now read this bit.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Just search Dice and Desire.
I'm actually very surprised that was all pronounced correctly. Thanks, Quinch. Thank you guys for listening. Do exactly as Quinch said and help us out in those various ways. And we look forward to sharing another episode with you very soon.
It's a dark and stormy night, and you approach the bar. As the woman turns, she says, "Who are you, adventurers?"
My name's Margaret Battlehammer. Did you want to know more about me than that? I'm a dwarf. Can you tell by my height?
That's right, and I'm Jump Thunderman, everyone. Lead and rhythm lutist of the Justice Loving Friends.
I play drums.
And I'm the lead and rhythm lutist of the Justice Loving Friends.
Yeah, you said that already.
What?
It is my honour to be the near sole vocalist of the Justice Loving Friends. I am a grung, fled from my people due to their slaving nature. But my name is Black.
A beautiful story, Black.
And I'm Morik, the Forest Father. I play the pan flute.
Yep.
I'm tall and greeny
Morik just looking down at himself like, I guess I'm quite furry.
The woman looks at you, fully perplexed, and says, "That's great. I only needed your names for the coffee order."
Oh, just put it down under Quest Fantastic.
A D&D actual play podcast.
What a hot mess.